On Saturday, April 5th, 2025, millions of us across America are going to march in protest of the Trump administration. Please, please, please join us. Please share this video with as many people in America as you possibly can. You guys, we're running out of time. Trump is moving so fast and he's winning. We have to fight back. It's our last chance to ensure our democracy. Go to www.handsoff2025.com. www.handsoff2025.com. Please share this video with as many people as possible. We have to show up on Saturday, April 5th. Thank you.
Guys, this April 5th protest is turning into a whole situation, and white Americans are out here pleading for black people to stand with them. But the response from Black America, it's not what they were expecting. Hello everyone, welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. How are you all doing? If you're new here, you're so welcome. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button because I break down the biggest conversations happening right now. And trust me, this one is getting messy. So, let's talk about it. April 5th is happening. There's no doubt about it. And now, white Americans are urging everyone to come out in full force. They're talking about all the things they didn't expect to happen, how the system has failed them, and even saying Trump won them. So let's check out what they are saying.
On April 5th, there's supposed to be some peaceful protests all across the nation. And it is time for white people to stand up and speak out. Especially if you're a white straight male. It is our time to stand up for the people who have been oppressed and marginalized by this country. I really want us to think about this. Anytime that there's a fight for basic human rights in this country, it's always led by marginalized groups. Whether it's the black community, whether it's women, whether it's the LGBTQIA plus community. When are white men going to stand up for basic human rights in this country? When are white men going to start calling out other white men who love to exploit people in this country? So if you're not already in the game, get in the game, lace up your boots. Black people need some rest and reparations. It's time for us to fight. These white men who are in power, all they do is exploit the red pill masculinity bullcrap. They know their audience. They know they're not very smart. They know they're poorly educated. They know they have that pound on my chest, I'm a tough guy type of mentality, but don't have a whole lot to think with. They know that the people who follow them buy into the get-rich scheme type of things. They buy into the self-help type of BS in hopes that one day they can exploit other people. But it is time for us to stand up and fight. Get loud. Use your privilege for good. We have an administration that talks about meritocracy while their DUI hire is putting national secrets in a Signal group chat. And when you elect a circus, expect to put a tent over the show.
Hello, my lovely blue dot darlings across America. The time has come to say you have had enough. The time has come to protest. The 5th of April is coming. If you go to handsoff2025.com, you can find out what's happening in areas near you, how you can get your voice heard, how you can join with other blue dots and become a blue ocean. The time is now. The administration is starting to crack with all of this nonsense in Signal, with all of this nonsense with Europe and insulting us. We're with you, but you need to stand up now. The time's come.
Alright, so from what we are hearing, they're not just calling for a protest, they're saying white men to stand up, this is our fight. And that's interesting because, let's be real, this hasn't always been the case. In past movements, a lot of these same people either sat back or dismissed protest as unnecessary. But now, they're feeling the pressure and they're realizing something isn't right and they have to be the ones to do something about it. But not everyone is just calling for white folks to step up. Some are still hoping for everyone, including black Americans, to show up.
Hey, I'm sitting here in the parking lot waiting for my son to come back out of the store and just listened to a TikTok by a guy named Steve on TV. And I don't know who it is, but he made a lot of sense. So I wanted to make sure I got on here and reiterated what he said. He's talking about the fact that we need to be doing as much protesting as we can possibly do right now. I know April 5th is the next big protest that we're scheduling to do. But last night I listened to a guy who's one of the coordinators for that, and he says, we don't want to have 1 million people out on the streets. Oh, hell no. We want to have millions of people on the street. We have got to mobilize as much as possible. 1 million people over 50 states is not going to be as meaningful as if we can get 2 million people. My only fear with that, though, is the fact that they're starting to say, the administration is starting to say that protests against what he wants to do is considered domestic terrorism. So I totally expect that the military to be called up before the 5th to make sure that we are safe. I am scared shit whenever I listen to the fact that the universities, when they were all losing their funds because of having DEI programs and whatever. Like Columbia, they're all agreeing that they will never have a mask worn again on their campus. Like there can be none. So what happens if you've got somebody, one of your students that happens to be getting chemotherapy for cancer and they're still staying in college, which happens a lot, and so they'd have to die so that Trump doesn't have to see any masks, which he didn't ever. I don't know. It is flippin' ridiculous. I know that I will not be able to leave the country because when my Social Security is ended, which I think it will be within the next month or so, I won't have enough money to do anything. I won't be able to afford my heart medicine. I won't be able to afford my blood thinners. It will be a short life, and I know that. My son says that he will continue to take care of me for as ever long as he needs to, but he's 28. He shouldn't have to even do that. I am freaking pissed that he told everybody what he was planning on doing, and we just let it happen. We have got to come together as a unified force.
So now we have a mix of perspectives. Some are saying, white people, let's handle this. Others, they still see strength in a united front. And listen, unity sounds great in theory, but Black Americans already fought this fight. They've been on the front lines for generations. The civil rights protests, the marches, the fight for justice. Black people already put in that work. And when they did, where was this same energy from white America?
Y'all, I cannot stop laughing. Watching Black Americans literally to tell each other to sit down. Just sit down. Do not participate in the hands-off protest. Be like hands off. The fact that these white liberals think that they can pull off a 1 million man march like they did in 1995 is insulting as all get out, because the 1995 1 million man march was about family values. It was about Black men being in the home. It was about holding people accountable for drug addiction and abuse of women and children. And now we got all these pale, lily white liberals running around screaming, hands off, Elon stealing from us. Guess what? Black people aren't that stupid. I know. In your liberal classroom, you were taught something different.
She has a point, because when black folks were marching for justice, family, economic rights, a lot of these same people were silent, or even worse, they were against them. And when it's their turn to fight for their freedoms, they're looking around and realizing they might not be able to pull this one off alone. Well, at this point, it's crystal clear the Black community is not showing up for this protest. And it's not because they don't care. It's also not because they're indifferent to what's happening. No, it's about self-preservation. So now they're saying, you all got this, it's your turn. And for once, they're choosing themselves, choosing to step back and let white America handle its own fight. And the good thing is, it seems like white Americans are finally waking up. They're looking around and realizing that the people they voted for, they are not for them, they are against them. And now that things are spiraling out of control, they see that they weren't really doing anything before. They sat back, they let things slide, but now they're the ones feeling the consequences. So at this point, they can take this one. They can stand up, protest, and fight for their rights. But Black people, they're sitting this one out. And they are telling white Americans they can handle this by themselves. So with that said, drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you all think. And before you go, kindly make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.